Okay, hi everybody. Hopefully you guys can hear me today. Yesterday was really stupid of me. What I did was I just switched from earplugs to speakers, and usually a little box pops up on the screen and you just click it and it switches it over. Well, it didn't pop up and I probably wasn't paying attention, and it ended up being behind the browser screen and I didn't see it. So I wasn't thinking, something must have, you know, and anyway, the whole thing was a waste. so I deleted it and we'll try it again today. Okay, I think I found a way. I'm going to go check it right now to see my chat for the first time. Yes, I simply got to switch to see my chat for the first time. Yes, I simply got to switch to see my chat. Okay, so everybody says they can hear me, so that's good. I simply got to switch to see my chat. Okay, so everybody says they can hear me, so that's good. I simply got to switch to see my chat. Okay, so everybody says they can hear me, so that's good. I don't know, I'm hearing myself, so I may not be able to use that. But in fact, see, I can hear myself now. Everybody says they can hear me. Hang on a second. I don't know, I'm hearing myself, so I may not be able to use that. But in fact, see, I can hear myself. So I may not be able to use that. But okay, I'll get it figured out one of these days. Okay, today is Wednesday, April 25th, and this is number 18 of my live broadcasts that I do for the Billion Coin to help get the information out that we are about to migrate over to a brand new blockchain that is super fast and super awesome. And we will be able to, for the first time, do thousands of transactions per second. Okay, so just like Visa and MasterCard, we'll be able to use our coin right there at the register for transactions, and it will just be immediate, you know. So just like you use Visa or MasterCard, you know, you just use your phone, we'll have a QR code probably, and that'll be that. There's the migration over to that new blockchain, and we're 2 years old. So this is, you know, the old one was old and it had problems just like Bitcoin did last year, and it slowed the transactions down. Okay, they are on a trading exchange, and every time somebody trades the coin, that's considered a transaction. So they couldn't keep up. Okay, and it slowed down a lot of the coins. We had the same problem, even though we're not on a trading exchange, because we don't want to be controlled by the wealthy who can manipulate the price by buying it all up, okay, which raises the price. Everybody jumps in because they want to make a few dollars, and then they dump and sell, and the price goes down, and the people that aren't, you know, really aware of how things work, they panic and they sell, and they lose. And they lose their coins, and then the rich pick them up at a low price again. And every time they do that, they pick up more of the people's coins. So what happens eventually, just like all market systems work, the wealthy ends up with all the wealth, and there's very little left over for the masses. That's not what our coin is about, okay? Our coin is the first abundance-based coin, which means it's not based on debt, and it's not based on fiat. It's not a currency, it's money. Okay, it is based on the value of we the people. Okay, we consider ourselves worth more in our weight than gold, and that's the way it should be. Okay, so we call ourselves the billion coin because we will have 1 billion coins mined, and that's it, never any more. So there's your supply and demand right there, 1 billion coins. But 1 billion coins is enough to supply 7.5 billion people on this planet. So nobody will be left out. Okay, it was designed to bring abundance to the entire world and eliminate poverty. And that's what makes our coin different than all other cryptocurrencies that are on a market exchange, a trading exchange. Okay, they just won't be able to do that for the simple fact that they're not abundance based. They'll go up in value over time because of supply and demand, depending on how many they're going to mine. Okay, but in the meantime, it will not be stable because the prices will go up and down, according to the fluctuation of the market, which can be controlled. Okay, so our coin is the first that's abundance based, the first that we purposely did not put on a trading exchange. It's also parts decentralized because the blockchain platform keeps it decentralized, but it's parts centralized. Now, when we first started, even our wallets were decentralized. And the problem we ran into is that members did not abide by the agreement, which was never to discount the coin. Okay, and people just do. Okay, they end up with a bunch of coins because they came in at the beginning. They ended up with all these coins, and then they saw the price go up, way up in value, and they said, well, geez, they get tempted. It's very easy to realize how people get tempted. And, so if the price is $1,000 at the time for one coin, and a person comes to them and says, listen, I really want one coin because I want to eventually be a billionaire. And that's another reason why we call ourselves the billion coin, because when we do get our first billion members, the coin will be worth 1 billion euros. Okay, so the person says, well, listen, the price is $1,000 for the coin, and and the guy says, I don't have $1,000. Well, what do you have? I have 300. Well, okay, give me the 300 and I'll give you a coin, because that person needs the 300 in cash right now, and he's got all these coins. He's got so many coins, it's not even funny, because he bought them cheap in the beginning, and so they were starting to discount. What that does is it devalues, it just destroys our coin. Okay, and no matter how much we came out and tried to explain that to our members, that you can't do that, they wouldn't stop. There were those that just wouldn't stop. So by close to the end of the first year, about 8 months, they switched over the wallets to a centralized wallet system where the creator admin could control who was discounting and who wasn't. And they can turn those wallets off. It was that simple. Okay. And so we had that issue come up that we were not expecting, and we corrected it. But once we corrected it, we realized, whoa, this is really cool, that we've got kind of partial control, kind of partial centralized, and partial decentralized. So there were other things that we became aware of how we can control everything in a way that we needed to, and that was the distribution of wealth amongst the people. Okay, now we had that ability in the beginning, but with the wallet systems the way it was, we thought, well, we could still, we had to just switch over to the wallets and then it would be okay. But when we switched over to the wallets, we realized when we got into the transactions that the process was too slow. So that was back on the regular blockchain platform for, the coin, doing transactions. So that's when we realized, okay, we have to step it up. We have to create a brand new blockchain, super high tech, not even blockchain 2.0, but I'm talking about blockchain 3.0. Okay. So that's what they did. That's what admin, which is what we call him, admin. He is a creator. He's self-funded. Okay. He didn't ask us for any money. That's another difference between all the other cryptocurrencies and any kind of a scam out there. You got to be careful, because if people ask you for money, or a person or a company or something comes out online and they say, send me money and I'll do this and do that, you really need to do your due diligence to find out who that person is and their history. Okay. And of course, with admin of a coin like this, there's no way to know who he was. It's like the creator of Bitcoin. We don't know who he is. Okay. He calls himself Satoshi Nakamoto, Satoshi Nakamoto, but we don't know really who he is. Okay, so that's the way our system works, which makes complete common sense, because if people knew who he was, he would become a target. Simple fact is, he would become a target for those that want to destroy cryptocurrency. And I've talked about how they want to destroy cryptocurrency. The central banking system, cryptocurrency is the biggest threat in the world to them. Central banking system has been in control of the United States money since 1913. They were in control of Europe's for many, many decades before that. Okay, so the Western world has been controlled all these years, and that's all we've ever known is this debt-based system from the central banking system. That's the Fed, the Federal Reserve Private Bank. Okay, federal has nothing to do with our federal government. They just made that name up to fool the Americans into thinking their bank had something to do with the government. It didn't. Okay, so they paid off politicians. They had money. They were the wealthy bankers that came over from London and England and Europe. Okay, and they control our system. They wanted to control our system right from the beginning. Go back and look at history, real history, and you'll find out all this stuff is true. Andrew Jackson actually ran for president of the United States with, I will get rid of the central banking system. Vote for me. Okay, and I'll get America and the government back to the people. And he won. And that's exactly what he did. He got rid of it. Okay, but it came back eventually. And then I think another president, I can't remember which one, got rid of it. Okay, and then it came back in 1913 under Woodrow Wilson, okay, which was their man. Okay, and it's been now for the longest period ever, from 1913, here it is, 2018, it's still in place. The problem is the system has inflated so bad, and the US dollar, which is really the Federal Reserve note, it says that right on the dollar bill, or the whatever, the paper money that we have, is so worthless now that it's to a point to do something to crash the system again and do something. Not what they're used to doing. They're used to just saying, hey, we'll bail everybody out. We'll bail the banks out. We'll bail the mortgage crisis out. We'll do this and do that. But they can't even do that now because it's just so bad. Inflation and devaluation is so bad. And now, since cryptocurrency came out in 2009 with Bitcoin, and all these years now, and it's become popular, and people are going, wow, technology has got the ability for us to create a coin that's based on money, meaning value, something of value. And it got real big in 2016, okay? Because it got on the trading exchange, they created it, a bunch of coins came out, things started happening. 2017, the price skyrocketed it for Bitcoin, went up to 20,000 a coin before the wealthy dumped. And then it went down. Okay, and it's been down since tax day. Okay, and now it's starting to go back up a little bit. And they're doing everything they can, meaning the central banking system, to regulate cryptocurrencies and say, well, you can't do this, you can't do that, and we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And they're trying, but they can't. The simple fact that it's private, okay? It's private, okay? So, but we've been brainwashed into thinking we've got to be on this system. Oh, they've got it all down. Look, they know what they're doing, you know. They've got this tax system, the IRS, and we pay taxes so that we can, have our roads fixed and pay for our military. And no, that's not what's happening. Central banking system lends the money to the government, and then we have to repay them interest. So all of our tax money goes 100% to interest, and then they just make more money up for all the other stuff. Okay, and that's where they've gotten themselves in trouble, because it's built up over the decades. Okay, so that's the situation we find ourselves in today. Okay, and all we have to do is look around in the world, and you can see the situations that are going on in other countries, because we have the technology now to pay attention. We didn't have it in 1971 when they took us off the gold standard. When Nixon took us off the gold standard, we didn't really have an idea of what that was going to do. Okay, but we felt it, and we started feeling it. Remember? It started in 1971, and since then, we have felt that debt-based system, and things have been really, really hard on us. And, I posted an article on Facebook yesterday or the day before about a teacher. I forget what state she was in. It doesn't matter. Here's the point. She has a master's degree. Okay. She's making $28,000 a year teaching. That's below poverty level in America. What's wrong with this picture? Okay. Now, you could say, well, she chose to do that. She chose to be a teacher. They don't pay well. Well, how come they don't pay well? You see what I'm saying? How come? Because we're on a debt-based system, and somebody is saying, well, we're not going to pay you that much. But guess what? There's other people out there that can get a master's degree and get 3 or 4 times, 5, 6 times more money, depending on what they're doing, depending on the supply and demand. Teachers are, a dime a dozen, they think. So, we can't pay you. We can't pay all you guys and girls. We can't pay you that much. Well, why can't you? Well, because if we paid you a bunch of money, then we wouldn't have control over you. Okay, and that's what's sickening. Okay, because I've got a brother who's got a master's degree. He made over 6 figures a year. Okay, now he wasn't teaching. His master's degree was in human relations, and so he ran hospitals. Okay, but you see the difference in the pricing and what they pay is not right. Somebody has a master's degree. They have gone to school for 6 years after high school. They deserve to get paid well, because they took the time to educate themselves so that they can turn around and educate our kids. Okay? They deserve it. It's like police officers. You can't pay them enough. According to me, you can't pay them enough. They should be paid $300,000 a year minimum. Every police officer out there. That's just the way the system should be. Okay? But there's people with master's degrees, and depending on the master's degree, depending on what they want to do, they're not able to make anywhere near 6 figures. And that is the crime. And that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. It's a little bit off subject, but not really, because it all comes together. Because cryptocurrency now, people are looking at it around the world and saying, wow, Here is a solution to all of these problems, okay? When the socialists took over the country in Venezuela, everything took a dump, okay? Food was off the shelves. People were starving. The money system collapsed. So the government said, what are we going to do? They came out with a cryptocurrency called the petrodollar, I think, or the petro coin. That's what it was. Somebody corrected me the other day on the chat. The petro coin, okay? And they said, look, guys, look, people, we've got this coin here. What do you think? Use it. Our oil. We've got a bunch of oil in our country. We're going to back it up with a real hard asset. So people started saying, well, there's a bunch of sanctions. Are we going to be able to sell the oil? You know, but they started using it. Little by little, people started using it. But the confidence wasn't there because of all the sanctions. Here's another thing. Sanctions are going to go away when the central banking system goes away. Okay, there won't be any need for sanctions on countries. The people that put sanctions on countries are the deep state, okay, and the central banking system. They're the ones that push. You ever want to know who is part of the deep state? Find somebody who's pushing for sanctions, okay? Right here in America, Nikki Haley is pushing for sanctions against Russia. Why? Okay, she's going to be gone in the next 7 to 30 days. I predicted it on my Facebook page yesterday. She's going to be gone. Fired. You're fired. Trump is going to fire her if she doesn't resign. Okay, but anyway, that's what he does. That's what Trump does. He brings in people, finds out what they're really all about, and then he takes care of them. Okay, and he always is trying to stay 2 steps ahead of the deep state and central banking system in what is going on around the world. That's what we're seeing with North Korea, with him making peace. That's what we're seeing right now in Syria, with him making peace. That's what we're going to see in Iran. Okay, expect Iran to act just like North Korea in the very near future. They're going to act just like North Korea. Hey, we're going to bomb you, Israel. We're going to bomb the United States. We have nuclears, warheads. Well, you know, we don't even really know if North Korea really had nuclear warheads, do we? I mean, we don't know for sure. They just blasted up some rockets that didn't seem to go anywhere. It didn't seem to function very well. And we got the deep state out of there, and then we got them talking, China, Russia, and South Korea, and look what's going on. Okay, look what's going on. Now, if you're seeing that for real, then you know for real it could happen in Syria, okay? That we're working with Russia and Iran and Syria, okay, to get rid of the deep state and then get our troops out. And that's the only difference. We got troops here in Syria, we didn't in North Korea. So it's taking us a little bit different method, okay? But we got our ships there now, right? The USS Truman is there. And I believe they're there to take our troops home. Okay, they're probably there for Iran too, but I'll get into that. But the point is, we're going to see it in Iran, and then all of a sudden Iran's going to be peaceful. Okay, and we're going to find out they probably don't even have any nuclear warheads. But the point is, we are seeing this, and so Venezuela had these sanctions on their oil, and so, okay, I tell you what, we'll back it with our gold. We have our gold in our own country. So people, we are going to back the petro coin with gold. Okay, now the people are feeling very confident. Well, there's no sanctions. We've got the gold. We don't need to sell the gold. It's based on gold. And it's just like it was based on oil. The oil is there, but they couldn't sell it. With gold, that's a whole different thing. I don't know anybody who's put sanctions on gold except our own government stealing it from us, okay? Which is not really the government. It's the government controlled by the cabal, the central banking system, okay? So I might go a little over today. I'm not sure. There was nobody scheduled to get after me. So the people feel very more confident in this petro coin of Venezuela. So the world is watching real closely. If that succeeds, then we know without a doubt and we can come out with our own cryptocurrency for our own nation and base it on something. Okay, anything that we've got as a resource, whether we have our gold back. And yesterday when I was talking, I talked about it, but nobody heard. Germany has already repatriated their gold. Other countries have. I think France has already repatriated gold. China has bought, I don't know how many millions of ounces. They've got their gold. Russia is way ahead of everybody. They're so ahead of everybody. They've kicked the deep state and they've kicked the central banking system out of their country. They use the US dollar. Think about that. Think about why everybody that's in the corporate media and why the central banking system is demonizing Russia. Why is Russia our enemy? The Soviet Union used to be our enemy, even though we've never been at war with the Soviet Union. But they were a communist entity at the time. So we were capitalists, so they were considered an enemy. Okay, and we had this big old long drawn out Cold War. And then the wall came down and the Soviet Union broke apart and Russia became a country, its own country again. And it was a mess for many, many years, but communism was no longer there. The church was back alive. The Orthodox Christian Church came back. The whole nation is basically Christian, okay, which is the majority religion here in America. Okay, so this is a country that has changed so much that we started going over to Russia. Our bands, our rock and roll, we started going over there and influencing them for the worse. No, I'm just kidding. You know, they got to go to, for the first time ever, they got to see concerts, bands from all over the world because they can now go to Russia, which they weren't able to do when it was the Soviet Union. You know, we've done business with them. People have gone over and lived there. And I don't understand why Russia is demonized and everybody acts as if Russia is some kind of enemy. We're doing business and communicating and having relations with everybody else. Even China. And China is still a communist country. Even Cuba. And Cuba is still a communist country. Okay? And we have certain limitations with those countries. But the point is we have ways to communicate. Okay? And work with. So China is now using their own cryptocurrency. And they're purchasing their oil. They are the largest consumer of oil in the world. So they've already purchased like 32 million or something like that barrels of oil with their crypto, with their yuan. Okay. And if they do that with Saudi Arabia, which is where they get most of their oil, and Saudi Arabia accepts the yuan instead of instead of our petrodollar, that's the end. That's the end of the US dollar, which is not the US dollar. It is the Federal Reserve currency, debt-based monetary system. Well, you can't even call it a monetary system because it's not money. Economic system, okay? So that's what we're going through. And now the structure of the central banking system is massive, okay? So it's not going to be an easy thing. And they're not going to go down without a humongous fight. Humongous fight. I mean, you can't even imagine what they must be thinking and how scared and nervous they are and what's going on in Syria, what's going on with cryptocurrency. They're going to demonize it. That's why you've got head of banks coming out saying, hey, guys, don't invest in cryptocurrency. It's not real. And look at it. Look what happens when you do. The price goes up and down and it doesn't stabilize. So how is anybody going to accept that coin? You know, merchants can't accept it. Retailers, service providers can't accept it. Because why would they take a coin that's going to go down in value possibly the next day? And they'd have to turn around and buy more products to sell you, and they've taken a loss. Well, yeah, great if it goes up, but if it goes down, they lose. So they come out and they tell you all these things that make you afraid of technology, make you afraid of getting involved, make you afraid of even going and doing your own research. So we at the Debillion Coin are doing these 24/7 live broadcasts in half-hour slots every day since March 21st, our 2nd year anniversary. Okay, so we don't have all slots filled up yet, but we will get there real soon. We've got about 2/3 filled up. Okay, so you can go on the billioncoin.info, and when you get on the site, just look over at the top where all the tabs are on the top, and I think the one on the far right says broadcast. Click on that, and it will give you a schedule, and you'll be able to just scroll down and see, okay, right now it's 5:30. So let's see who's on, if there's anybody on at 5:30. Okay, you'll notice there's nobody on at 5:30. Okay, but I'm here. I started at 5. But yesterday or the day before, there was somebody. Yesterday, I believe there was somebody. Roy was on at 5:30. Or at least he was supposed to. He was scheduled. I don't know. When I went to check, it looked like he was having some technical problems. But anyway, the point is we've got some really, 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 really good people coming on every day, once a week, 3 times a week, whatever they can do to let you guys know what we're all about. It's not just me. It's a bunch of us. And more are starting to get used to being comfortable with being on YouTube and knowing what to say and being able to do it. Okay, it's a big growth thing for a lot of people. Some people is like, it's no big deal. I'll just get on. I don't care. Boom, let's get on. Let's get on YouTube. Okay, but you know, and like I said in one of my past videos, you'd asked me a year ago if I would be doing this. A year later, I'd say no. There's no way. Okay, because I was just that way. I'm not a really outgoing person. I guess that feels comfortable doing YouTube videos. But over the year, when you become passionate about something, you change. Okay, I can definitely tell you that. Okay, you can't keep your mouth shut when you become passionate about something. So, and there's a lot of things I'm passionate about, and I could be doing live videos on a number of subjects. Okay, but I'm doing one here for the Billion Coin because it's real. It's a solution. We're giving the coin away just to make sure you guys don't know that it's not a scam. Okay, we've been in here 2 years. We're about to go into a new blockchain platform that will blow every other coin out of the water. Okay, we have 3 million members after 2 years. Slow growth. Slow growth, it seems like it. Okay, 3 million is actually awesome. But when I say slow, is because we were slow. It got so slow last year with transactions. There was a point where we couldn't do any transaction. Grew by 30 times what we had the first year. 30 again this year. We'll be at 85 million 12 months from now. We'll have our own economy. Everybody will accept it. Okay, and our goal, of course, is to get to 1 billion. Now, one thing I'd like to tell you guys, most of you who do know about cryptocurrency know that if you don't get in at the beginning, the price goes up. As soon as they stick it onto a trading exchange, it normally doubles. Okay, that's why all these coins come out with an initial coin offer, an ICO. Hey, come on, get involved. Buy our coins now at the lowest price. Because once we put it on the trading exchange, it's going to at least double. It'll double, and people do that, okay? But some people get scammed because the ICO is completely phony. They'll spend their money, they'll get this coin, and then coin disappears. Okay, so the point is, people think that if they don't get in at the beginning, then they're going to have to pay too much later on. And they get discouraged. Okay. Our coin has been out for 2 years. They're going, oh my gosh. The coin. Well, we have an algorithm from the beginning that controls the value of the coin along with our membership agreement. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. Exactly what that is in a short version on one of the blogs. And it's based on membership. So every time someone joins our community for free, okay, that's what we call ourselves, a community. Okay. And we actually know how many members we have. Doesn't know how many members they have, people using that coin. Okay, because they're completely decentralized. Okay, but they can guess. They can kind of guess because of what the transactions, wallets, whatever. They can kind of guess. Supposedly, they've got around 12 million people using Bitcoin right now. 12 million is all they've got. 12 little million. Okay, in a world of 7.5 billion people. Okay, that's why they're not their own economy yet. Okay, and they're still on the old 1.0 system, blockchain platform. In fact, when they got in trouble last year and slowed down and bogged down, all they could do is fork off or create a fork and create another coin. Okay, but as long as they stay on that old system, which they're probably always going to, because I don't see the owner coming back and taking over again. I don't even see how he could. It's in the hands of independent miners spread out all over the world. That's what makes it decentralized. That's what makes it private. You can see your transactions, but nobody's connected to those transactions. Okay, it's completely private. Nobody knows who's doing the transactions. You can just see your transactions on the blockchain. Okay, blockchain.com. But with our system and the fact that we're migrating starting in 5 more days, okay, and most of us that are already involved will migrate in the first day or two, okay? But then we'll spend the rest of the 90 days that we're going to give ourselves to migrate to get all the other members that are kind of asleep or have forgotten about us, got their free coin, their free Kringles, pieces of the coin, and it could be that there could be $4,000 to $6,000 US sitting in their account right now, because they did nothing. They just let it, when they got it, it was worth $18 a year ago, and it's gone up to 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, whatever it is. Okay. And then they just walked away and kind of forgot about it because they never got involved. They never said, well, is this real? Do I need to buy some of this? Okay. When I talk about that, you haven't missed the boat. We are in control of how we distribute the wealth. If we weren't in control of that, then the wealthy can come in, buy all they want, right? Just like they do with all these other cryptocurrencies. Raise the price up, then dump it. Or they can just, if we don't control the system completely, that part of it, they can still buy it all up for themselves and leave not much left over for the masses. That would deceive the whole purpose of the billion coin. It would deceive the whole purpose of us creating our coin to eliminate global financial poverty. Okay, that's what we will do. That's what we are going to do. When everyone is abundant for the first time in their lives, what do you think is going to happen? We're going to be a community. And we're going to get things done. Whatever we want done, whatever we want built, whatever we want anywhere in the world, we'll get it done. No one can stop us. The central banking system is the exact opposite. They don't do anything for anybody because they don't care anybody about except themselves. In fact, they actually want to depopulate the earth so that they can have the earth for themselves. Pretty scary. But that's why we have poverty, because with poverty, they can control you. Okay? You want to eat? We got the food. Do this, do that, and we'll give you some food. I know that sounds crazy, but I mean, it's reality. It's common sense. It's been our system. We've known it our whole lives. That's all we've known. Okay, now things weren't so bad, or it didn't seem so bad when we were kids, those of you my age, and I'm 61. But after 1971, we all started to really see, oh, well, there's not enough gasoline. And we had to be in lines or go on certain days. There's not enough water. We can only water on Tuesdays and Thursdays if you live here, and on Wednesdays and Saturdays if you live there. And, you know, and there's been problems, okay? And they say, well, inflation is good, you know, because, you know, it raises the value of your home, and, you know, you can sell it for more and have money, and lots of people did, okay? And they have this retirement fund, but if they've got it in stocks and the stock market crashes, that's the end of it, okay? They got you no matter what when you're on their system, but we haven't had any choice but to be on that system. We haven't had any way to get rid of it. That's why none of the presidents have been able to get rid of it. John F. Kennedy was trying, and saw what happened to him. Reagan wasn't able to do it. He was a good president, got a lot of things done, but he wasn't able to do that, okay? Trump is. Okay, we're fed up. That's why we, the Patriots, put Trump in office, because he's not a politician. He's a businessman, he's a deal maker, and he's a master at it. And he's doing things while he's saying other things, okay, to keep the deep state thinking he's going along with them, when in the background, he's not. And I can say that because you know, they're not going to believe me even if they watch this video. They don't believe anything. There's so much information right on YouTube. People coming out and telling you the truth and details about what's going on with Trump and Patriots, the central banking system, the countries, what's changing because of cryptocurrency. Money is tied directly to politics, is tied directly to freedom. And freedom is a passion of mine. Okay, you can go look at my Facebook page. The intro will tell you a few of my passions. First one, I think it says the Word of God. Okay, second one, I think it says freedom. Truth, okay? They're right there. And so because of these passions I have, it drives me to learn, okay? So at least it keeps me awake, you know, so that I'm not caught with my pants down, okay? Hopefully, okay? So because I'm in that position right now, then I can turn around and do these videos every day and let you guys know a little bit. And hopefully somebody come along and they're doing some kind of a search engine search on cryptocurrency, and they'll see what's all these videos on the billion coin, this TBC. What is that? What is that? What kind of coin is that? I haven't even heard of it. And they'll click on, they'll watch somebody telling them how great it is and what we're all about. That's why we're doing this, because we're going into a new migration platform that's going to blow everything away. It's going to blow everything away. We are going to shoot past Bitcoin in no time whatsoever. I'm talking about months. We are going to shoot past them in membership, or people that own our coin and are using it. Okay, we're not only giving it away, but we're giving people an opportunity to get a full coin, which today is worth 3.8 million US dollars. You can't buy one, but you can get one, because we have ways to do that. Okay, we are not in the business of creating something. Adam was not in the business of creating a coin, getting rich, and then saying adios. He's there every single day on top of things, self-funded. He doesn't ask us for money. He asks us for $10. $10 a year for your back office to cover the servers. Okay, and then he throws in a lifetime wallet, including all transaction fees. That's right. Every time you purchase something with a cryptocurrency, the miners charge you a transaction fee. Not with the billion coin. There's nobody out there that needs to feel like they've got to gouge you to get theirs. That's a scarcity mindset. We don't have that. We are trying to change that mindset to an abundant mindset, which is brand new for people. So it takes a lot of education. It takes a lot of effort, and I'm willing to do it. Okay, because once you do come over to that possibility that maybe it's true. Maybe, being abundant, it is the way to go. Well, of course it's the way to go. Debt is not the way to go. It strangles us. Okay. You know how the money system does. It causes divorce. The number one cause of divorce is finances. Is that insane or what? Now, I'm not saying that money is the, solution to everything, but I'm telling you, if we're abundant, it changes the whole everything. Okay. It won't eliminate disease necessarily, but it might. Okay. It could help in research. But it's not going to eliminate certain types of crimes because hate is always going to be there. But it will eliminate so much, and it will eliminate global poverty, which is the number one thing we've got to get rid of. It's just ridiculous. Okay, so we have ways through our reward systems of getting you a coin in your hand for as cheap as $100. 100 US fiat worthless money will take, not admin. I'll take it or anybody else that's doing one of these videos. Okay. We don't need your money, but we're the only ones that have the coins and we're the trusted sellers. We won't discount it. Okay. We've been vetted. We are allowed to sell the coins. There's probably, I don't know, there's a lot of us. There's a lot of us that obviously aren't even doing videos that you can go and they're, talking to people privately, peer to peer and saying, okay, this is the situation, just like I am. And I can sell you some. Okay. If you buy $100 from me is what they tell somebody and spend your $10 on your back office and wallet fee. The wallet I said is lifetime. The back office fee is annual $10. It's nothing. It's nothing. $100 is nothing for most Americans, most people in all first, second worlds. Okay, third world people are coming up with 100 because they believe in it so much. They have a different mentality because they've been living in real poverty, real oppression from other countries' governments, which are controlled by the central banking system. Okay, so they're more able to switch the thinking than we in America are. Okay, that's just common sense. We are the wealthiest country in the world. So it's tougher for us to really understand. But yet, when we drive downtown, metropolitan, big cities, we see the people living in tents on the sidewalks. So we know it's there. We just put our blinders on and get past the street to wherever we're going and thinking, nah, that's not real. It can't be real. They all must be mentally ill. Well, yeah, many of them are, but many of them are not. They don't have a choice. Okay, many of them don't have a choice. And it is pathetic that this is happening in our own country. Pathetic. Okay, so it is real. Whether you want to face it or not, it's real. But now we have a solution for the first time. Friends, we have a solution for the first time. It's called the Billion Coin. Our coin is validated because there's another coin coming out a year from now that will also be based on abundance. It will be based on an algorithm, not on the trading exchanges. At least their ICO is not on the trading exchange. They're not promising they're going to go on the trading exchange. They're promising this algorithm, which means that with theirs, instead of people, every time a person buys their coin, it raises it up just a fraction because you can divide a coin by 100 million times. So it just raises it a fraction. Next person buys it at a little bit higher price. Next person who buys it at a little higher price. What does that tell you? It tells you that the price is always going to go up every single day, never go down. Abundance-based currency. This will come out from the Telegram people, the Telegram messaging people. Okay? 200 million people are chatting last month in March on the Telegram free chatting messaging service. They're the 9th largest in the world because they're private. They're so private, open source, blockchain, whatever it is, they're so private that not even a third party knows not even Telegram knows what you're chatting about. That's why they have grown in 5 years to 200 million people. They're coming out with their coin. Okay, and it's going to be abundance based, and if they never put it on the trading exchange, they're going to succeed. And that is great because there's no competition with money, and there's no competition with cryptocurrencies. Okay, there is competition when you put it on the trading exchange, right? But if there's no competition, if it's not on a trading exchange, it's just, oh, there's another currency we can use. Awesome, right? So that's why when you see other countries looking at Venezuela and saying, well, look what happened with Venezuela. All the people are using their petro coin because they're confident in it. They don't need the US dollar. They don't need anything. They're doing just fine. We can do it ourselves. Okay, just like they come up with their own paper money and they call it whatever, okay, they're going to come up with their own cryptocurrency. That's great because the billion coin will be there just like the fiat Federal Reserve note is all out there in the world except in Russia. And China's getting rid of it. Okay, another humongous country, over 1 billion people getting rid of it. That money has to come back. Where else is it going to go? Imagine what that's going to do to our economy. They're going to try to blame it on Trump, okay? Okay, but Trump's going to hang on to the narrative, God willing. And he's going to do an audit. He's going to bring out an audit bill. It's going to get passed, and we're going to audit this bank because it's a private bank. We have the right to audit it. And when we audit it, and now we can show the world what the central banking system has been doing for all these decades, they're going to say, adios, central banking system, we don't want anything to do with you. We now have the ability to create our own real money. We don't have to carry gold around with us and make gold coins again, silver coins again, carry them around. We can just hold it in our own countries and create a cryptocurrency that nobody can steal and use that. Think about that. Powerful. First time in history. And it's the first time in history that you have leverage that you have with the billion coin. Where else can you spend $100? Okay, which in America is a night at the movies with your kids. Okay, $100 that will instantly make you a TBC multimillionaire and a potential billionaire for $100. You'll get one coin. Okay. How the way it works is you get 100 million cookies. Okay, because a coin can be divided 100 million times. We'll give you cookies. That's what we call them, cookies. They're points. Okay, this way we don't give our kringles to some wallet that may just people don't care about and it disappears and we lose coins. That was another problem with the old blockchain system. Okay, so now we give cookie rewards, and then we have a redemption period, which runs a whole month. The next one, this will be our second redemption period, comes on May 1st in 6 days. For the whole month it runs. Anybody who's got cookies in their back office can redeem it with a push of a button, and it turns into 100 million kringles, and it turns into one full coin deposited in your wallet. It's currently worth $3.8 million. Okay? And it will be worth $1 billion. Now, if you spend $200, you'll get 2 coins. $300, you'll get 3 coins. Okay, we're selling them in cents of 100. You have no money whatsoever, only the $10. That's okay. If you refer 100 friends and family members to get the free gift, that's all you got to do. Do that, and we'll give you 10 coins. Admin will give you 10 coins. Okay, and he may make it even easier in the future. He may say, well, you know what? Just refer 10 people, I'll give you 1 coin for every 10. You don't have to get a whole 100, and then I'll give you 10. Yeah, dude, give me 10. Refer our community to 10 others to get their free coin and pay their $10. That's it. And we will give them a full coin. Okay, that's the power that we have. That's the power of leverage. That's how we control the wealth that is going to go out. We're creating and going to create 1 million 1 million billionaires with our current cookie promotion award system. Then we will create a billion millionaires. And there'll be multimillionaires in that. There'll be multi-billionaires in that. Okay? So depending on when you get in and what you can do whatever you can, you'll be fine. Because when it reaches its maximum and the coins are out there, there will be enough Kringles to literally create that abundance for the other 6.5 billion people on the planet. Complete abundance. I've talked about this before. We're still going to need people to work. Okay. People love to work. People love their work. Okay. But they'll get paid now. Okay. Everybody will get paid. If you're at McDonald's, you'll make 60,000 a year. Whatever you need at the time, you'll make it. One person can work at McDonald's or Taco Bell and support a family of 5. We can't comprehend that right now. Okay. We can't comprehend it, but you can see what's going on. People, and they manipulate the stats. But when you look at the stats and say, well, unemployment's down to 4.1. Well, yeah, that's not because everybody's employed full time. It's because everybody's employed 3 times. They've got 2 jobs. They've got 3 jobs. They have no health insurance. They have no anything. Because the system is sucking us dry. They really have no choice but to do it because the system's sucking them dry. Okay? We have to get off of it, and we're going to get off. And there's going to be a transition coming. Either way, whether Trump wins with his narrative or whether the central banking system wins, there's going to be a transition. The transition will be horrible under the central banking system. Transition will be not so bad at all under Trump. But there will be a transition. During that transition, you're going to want what everybody's been telling us all along anyway. Have a little gold, have a little silver, have a little this fiat cash. Because if the banks have a holiday and they won't let you come in and get your money, you got to have some cash at home because we'll still be using that system until they come up with a new monetary system, a new cash system, a new system. There's going to be a transition period. Okay, so that's all we're saying is be awake, be prepared, and if you can have a little more on hand, then you can help somebody else. You can help the rest of your family, extended family. You can help some friends. You can help some neighbors. Okay, so, but that's up to you. Okay, but there's nothing to be afraid of. It's a transition period. We'll get by it. We'll get through it. We've done it before. And sort of. Okay, and I mean, even during the Depression, people had to stand in bread lines. Do you remember that? You don't think that can happen again? It can happen under the central banking system's transition. Okay, we don't see it being that bad if Trump and the Patriots win, because we're doing everything to make sure it's a soft transition. Okay, and the central banking system, all they're doing is thinking, how the hell can we stop this? How the heck can we stop this? We've got to stop this cryptocurrency or we're finished. Yeah, we've got the gold. We've got the resources. We'll be okay, but we'll lose control. The whole reason why we've got all this is so that we can have the power and do what we want in this world. We can't let that go. They don't care about people. They don't care about humanity. They don't care about lives. Look how many kids are aborted every year. Babies aborted. Do they care about them? Do they care about you? Is there a different care about you because what? You were born and they weren't? No. They don't care about you at all. Themselves. And they will kill you. They will do whatever they can to cause you to do what they want for them. Okay, to make them wealthier and more powerful over you. Okay, so it's kind of scary because when they got their back up against the wall like they are right now, you know they're going to be thinking, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Nothing is working. We're losing. We're losing our power in the Middle East right now. We can't seem to create a war. We've tried to pull Russia in, but they're not cooperating. Why the heck would Russia cooperate? You know, it's like they just announced, Russia, that they were going to start selling their S-300 missile system to Syria, to Assad. So Netanyahu starts screaming, hey, you do that, Russia, and we're going to bomb those missiles. We're going to take them out. Just to let you know, Netanyahu is deep state. Okay, he's as deep as it gets. Okay, and that's why a lot of people in Israel can't stand the guy. Okay, so Netanyahu says that, threatens Russia. Russia comes back and says, guess what, you don't even think about it, because that'll be the end. Plain and simple, it'll be the end. Okay, so don't even think about it, because if you do, that'll be the end. Okay, that's what Russia says. It's all over for everybody. Okay, so shut up and lay down and make some peace for once in your life, Netanyahu. Okay, so you can see how passionate I am, and I am in a position, because I'm basically retired. Okay, I don't have to work anymore for money, but I use the money to work for me, so I can spend all my day doing whatever I want, whether it's playing the guitar back there, or whether it's researching on the internet. Okay, or it's going out to eat, whatever. Okay, so I'm in a position where I can look, and I have this passion that has driven me to sources that I know and can trust. It's that simple. So I just hit them every day and get the full-on news as fast as it comes out. Okay, and I absorb it, but I have a terrible short-term memory, so I have a hard time remembering most of it, but at least it's there somewhere, and it makes me stay on top of things. So I want to get that knowledge out to as many people as I can, and it's been over an hour, so I'll get off of this, and I am scheduled for tomorrow, but let's see. But I noticed that Mr. Dan Lutz, okay, the guy that has inspired me so much, because man is full of amazing information. He has a life that will blow you away if you knew what he's accomplished and what he's experienced in his lifetime. It's unreal. But the man comes on usually at 7 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 7 p.m. and he'll go for a half hour. But I noticed tomorrow, instead of being set for 7, he's set for 5. I'm not going up against Dan. Okay. So I could have, because there's another slot always next to you. 2 people can come on at the same time. 2 people can come on. I always do that with both hands. So I'm going to come on at 4:30. And I'm going to shut up at 5. So y'all can go watch Dan Lutz. Okay. And so that's tomorrow, a little bit different. I'll be here at 4:30. Either way, most of you probably watch this after it's done anyway. Okay, you just watch it on my channel, or it comes out in your email if you're subscribed and you clicked on the bell. You can watch it at your convenience. But the thing is, I don't want to be live on at the same time Dan Lutz is, because I want to watch Dan Lutz. Okay, and so that's that. So I'll be here tomorrow, God willing, unless something comes up. I'll be here every day, unless something comes up. Okay, and tomorrow we'll talk about, I was going to get it back into that blog that talks about the membership agreement. I'll put that down on a note so I can get it into that tomorrow. It's really simple, but it will make you understand the power of it. Okay. All right, guys. It's Wednesday. Taco Tuesday was yesterday. Mm, mm. I'm still full. Okay. Have a fantastic night, and I sure hope you guys heard this today. And I'll see you tomorrow.